and it's the perfect lead-in for my talk, which is feeling excited and ready for change. Everybody there?
Yeah.
Right? All right. So, American inventor and entrepreneur Charles Kettering once said, "The world hates change, yet it is the only thing that has brought progress."
It's not funny.
All month, we have been discussing how change is occurring and how it is occurring at a pace faster than ever before as humanity speeds toward an evolutionary leap in consciousness. Changes are occurring in our individual lives and in the lives of our ministry and what we teach here. Some changes are expected, some are complete surprises, some are pleasant, some are devastating. Some we orchestrate, others come out of the blue. Where is the blue anyway? Okay, they come out of the blue. In some, we can see the immediate good. In others, we are hard-pressed to find it, at least for a while. But change is happening, and I stand in absolute and complete knowing that all change is for the better. And that all change occurs because our souls, the essence of who we are, called it forth so that we might expand and evolve. So Walsh, in When Everything Changes, writes, "We've all heard it 100 times and it seems incredibly trite to say, and to say it again now, but here we go anyway. For every door that closes, there's another one that opens." Reverend Noel McGinnis once said, "But the hallway can be a real..." It doesn't matter what you've lost, your job, your house, your spouse, your credit, your dream, your hopes, even your health. It doesn't matter what you've lost or what has so drastically changed. You can start your life all over again and achieve even greater heights, I promise you. Today we move our series forward by looking at a very, very powerful tool for feeling excited and feeling ready for change. But first, we're going to have a little quick review of last week. We looked at the tool of choosing to change our choice of inner truths and taking the perspective that there is a third reality, which is the realization that what we think is going on and what we think about what we think is going on is not what is really going on. There's something higher going on. Does everybody remember we talked about that? And then we explored, you were here last week. That's why you were running a marathon. Okay. And then we explored the tool of choosing to change our idea about change and realize that all change is for the better. I want to take a moment to look at an example of that tool. It's exemplified in the life of composer Franz Joseph Haydn, although he didn't know it. As a small child, Haydn was trained to sing and was taken in at age 8 into the cathedral choir of St. Stephen's in Vienna. Here he sang solo parts and received valuable musical instruction as well as he earned his living. He was a member of this choir for 9 years, and then a monumental change occurred. What do you think that change was? Any idea? His voice. His voice changed. And when that happened, the director fired him and turned him out onto the streets. Wow, not very kind, were they? At 17, he'd lost the only life he had known, and he was penniless. Wow, okay, that's a big change. Yet, he took what he had learned and went on to become a teacher and a composer. In 1760, he was made musical director at the court of the Prince of Austria, where he held this position he's held it successfully for over 30 years. Then the prince died, and the musical group was disbanded, and Haydn, who is now 58, he was once more out of work. Yikes. 58 in those days really was pretty ancient. Today, 58's the new 38, right? Right? Yeah. I think so. So another big change, and this one was not of his doing either, but he refused. He refused to be discouraged. He accepted commissions for two composing and conducting ventures in London, and there began doing some special teaching with Beethoven as a pupil at the time. He now had leisure time to enjoy his fame and his many friends, and to write some of his most famous works, such as The Creation and The Seasons. Twice in his life he had been cast aside, but each time he built a new and a better life, because whether he did it consciously or not, he lived the tool that we explored last week, which was all change is for the better. And yet, as I said last week, even if we install these two tools, realizing that something higher is going on and that all change is for the better, changes can still look like they are not for the better, can't they? They can still look that way. They can look really, really yucky. And that's a high and holy spiritual term right there, yucky, right? They can look really scary. And you might even say, if all things happen for the better, and this really is true, then what in the blazes does God have in mind with this change that I'm going through right now? Because things sure don't look any better. In fact, they look a lot worse. And that question leads us to where we stopped last week and our next tool for our spiritual toolkit. So, everybody ready? Our tool for today says, change your idea about why change occurred in the first place. Change your idea about why change occurred in the first place. Why the change occurred in the first place is a biggie, a really big biggie. This change didn't occur because we live in a scary world that is out to get us. It didn't occur because we've been bad or misused the law and are now experiencing the consequences. It didn't occur because we are in the wrong place at the wrong time and now need to make the most of it. We now need to turn lemons into lemonade. Well, yeah, sometimes that's an okay thing to do, but it's not any of those things. It's none of those things. So take a deep breath in and let it out. Are you ready? Okay. The change occurred because we wanted it to occur. The change occurred because we wanted it to occur. You may be thinking right now, I don't think so. I don't think so. I most definitely did not call this change into being. No way. No one in their right mind would want to change like this. And if you're thinking this, you are correct. You are correct. No one in their right mind would choose something like this, but your mind did not make this choice. Your mind did not make this choice. Your soul did. Your soul made this choice so that you could evolve, so that you are not a victim of this change, but rather you are the cause of it. Now, this idea can be difficult to grasp without a clear, very clear understanding of who we really are, of our true identity here on this earth plane. And I think that's why that really struck me as the video that we just listened to about the miracles, because it just really impacted what I have to say here. Without this understanding, what I just said does not make much sense. Walsh suggests that in order to deepen into who we really are, into our true identity here on this earth plane, we must first look at life's 4 fundamental questions, which he asked and then allowed the answers to flow to him. So the questions are, 1, who am I? 2, where am I? 3, why am I where I am? And 4, what am I doing here? And I want to read you the answers that he received. Number 1, who am I? You are an individuation of divinity. There is only one thing, and all things are part of the one thing that is. Life is God expressing itself. You are a part of life, therefore you are a part of God. The only way this could not be true would be if life and God were somehow separate. Such a thing is impossible. Number 2, where am I? You are in the realm of the physical, which is part of what you call heaven. The sadness is that you do not think that you are in heaven, and so your imagined reality is that you have to get there. In fact, there is nothing you have to do, nothing you have to be, and nowhere you have to go to experience paradise. Merely look upward on a starry night, or outward over a foaming ocean, or toward the skyline at dusk, or dawn for that matter, into the eyes of your beloved. You are in heaven, and you are calling it something else, and you are acting as if it were something else. And so, of course, you have created it as something else. Number 3, why am I where I am? You are where you are because in the realm of the spiritual, you can know absolutely who you are, but you cannot experience that in relative terms. And so, you've entered into the realm of the physical so that you might gain a world of experiences. Number 4, what am I doing here? You are here to use the tools and devices, which include your own body, by the way, that are only available in the realm of the physical to bring you the world of experiences your soul wished to have, so that you could come to know your true self in a tangible, physical way, in the same way that you know yourself in the realm of the spiritual. This Walsh calls the system of the soul. This is who we are, where we are, and why we are here. I love this recent note from the Universe by Mike Dooley, which is right in line with Walsh's System of the Soul. Julie writes, would it be enough to know that long ago, when the two of us carefully mapped out your pending adventures into the jungles of time and space, the hills and valleys you would traverse, the setbacks and advances you would encounter, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and all of the lives you would touch, when our planning was done and the big picture was revealed, you burst into tears of joy, overwhelmed with its perfection and who you'd become. Oh yeah, you'd cry like a baby. Walsh's wife, M. Claire, wrote this beautiful poem about the System of the Soul. She writes, I am that I am, and so much more. The light, the sound, the living God on the ground. I could show you every feather in the wing, every color and hue, every beautiful thing. But I am that I am wants to love whoever has not yet had it, whatever has not yet known it. However, life's not done it yet. Not yet done it. There is still so much loving yet to be found. Just living God on the ground. Not beautiful? Mm-hmm. And so we see that change occurs so that we can live a greater degree of God on the ground. Everything that changes at your direction. You want it to occur because you are continually choosing the perfect people, places, and conditions with which to experience what you next seek to experience as you move forward in the process of the evolution of your soul. But that doesn't mean that it comes without fear. I love the Dilbert comic strip. Anybody read Dilbert? Oh, gosh. Well, Dilbert says to an office colleague, change is easy, you go first. Right. And yes, it can definitely be scary. And I love the acronym that Walsh has for fear. Most of you know one that's been around for years, right? We know this one here. False evidence appearing real, right? Okay, keep going. I don't know why this. Click, 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 click. There we go. Okay, so this is Walsh's new one. Okay, I think his is so much better. It really takes us to an entirely different level. So this fear is feeling excited and ready. Feeling excited and ready. Going along with this idea about fear, here's another note from the universe. Fear, like joy, usually means that you're exactly where you should be, learning what you're ready to learn about to become more than you were. Woohoo! Feeling excited and ready. Just last month we celebrated 5 years. 5 years in this very location. And I am ready. I think Suzanne is too. I think we all are for an up-leveling of who I am and who we are as a spiritual community. I am feeling excited and ready for the changes that this up-leveling is bringing. That's a word that isn't a real word, but I like it. Sounds good. Up-leveling. I'm feeling excited and ready for the up-leveling of who you all are and the changes occurring in your life that this up-leveling is bringing to you. Are you feeling excited and ready? Yes? Is everybody feeling excited and ready?
Sure.
All right. If so, say with me. I am feeling excited and ready.
I am feeling excited and ready
For the good this change is bringing.
for the good that change is bringing.
My soul brought it on
My soul brought it on
so that the I am that I am
so that I am that I am
might more fully
more fully
live God on the ground.
live God on the ground.
Mark Twain once said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you did not do than by the ones that you did. So throw off the bowline, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, and discover. And I'm taking that literally because I'm looking at cruises right now. I'm ready to do that, something different. So as we've done in the weeks past, I want you to bring into your mind or your heart whatever change is up for you right now, your mind and your heart. Whatever change is up for you right now. And allow yourself to feel any fear that there might be around that. Any of that good old-fashioned nagging fear, right? Breathe that for just a moment or two. Just be with it. It's okay to feel it. And now we're going to shift our perception about that fear. Realize in your mind and in your heart that this fear that you are experiencing around this change is really your soul feeling excited and ready for the newness that this change is bringing about, for the expanded way of being that will result because of this change, for the opportunities and the experiences that will happen because it happened. Realize this fear is really the essence of you feeling excited and ready to jump into life at a new level, at a new depth, at a new height. Wow, this really feels kind of good, doesn't it? Doing something so different, so exciting. Know with me that you are now living a greater degree of God on the ground. And so it is.